Hello and welcome to Brodual. This time we have Darkend. This is a Dark Souls inspired quest mod that adds a new island for you to explore. Unlike a lot of other quest mods, there's no friendly NPCs, quest objectives or big story. Instead it's designed as a completely solo experience where you get to test your abilities in combat against terrifying new foes. The mod also has a horror element to it, but it doesn't rely on jump scares or anything like that. Instead it uses the eerie setting and carefully designed battlefields to increase tension. If you've played Demon Souls, Dark Souls or Bloodborne, you probably know what to expect. There's that whole element of a dark figure lurking in the distance just waiting for a challenger, and this time the challenger happens to be the Dragonborn. As always with quest mods, we'll try to keep things as spoiler free as possible. We'll leave most of the exploring to you and we'll only show you how to get started and then cover some of the general things to expect. All in all, the mod will take you around 2 to 3 hours to complete, and we think it's probably best enjoyed in a single sitting. The author recommends you have a character around level 15, but you can also just knock the difficulty up a bit if you're finding things too easy. To get started you need to head to a wrecked ship in the Sea of Ghosts, to the northwest of Winterhold. Inside you'll find a bunch of old corpses and a journal. The mod mostly uses journals to lead you through the quest. There aren't any actual objectives, nor does an actual quest begin, but instead the journals will share the perspective of several people, and then you have to piece the story together. At the bottom of the ship you'll find a weird glowing orb which acts as a portal between Skyrim and a new island named Thalos. Thalos is a new area made up of one main island and then a group of islands in the north and south. When you first arrive you'll be just outside of an abandoned village, and from there you can either make your way into one of the buildings or you can wander off further into the distance and see what you discover. In terms of new locations, you have pretty much everything you'd want to see, from a creepy desolate church to a winding maze that spans multiple levels. You'll go deep underground into Catacombs to hundreds of feet above ground on the highest castle. In terms of new enemies, there are several lower level types that you'll find guarding random structures or just creatures native to the island. Some of the enemies also use new weapons that drop and can be used after you defeat them. For the bosses there are also several types. Some are physical enemies while others use magic. The mod is still limited to Skyrim's engine, so the bosses mostly use combat mechanics from the vanilla game. For example, some of the bosses fight like giants and they share the same animations and behaviour. However, the mod makes up for that by adding other enemies in support of the boss, or by creating a battlefield that makes maneuvering more difficult. You can also make things a bit more interactive with a dodge mod like TK Dodge or Ultimate Combat. The mod also pays homage to Dark Souls with lightable campfires and white smoke before certain boss battles, which is a nice touch. It also replicates that feeling of dread before a battle very well. As you step onto a bridge you'll see something guarding it. It's the only way forward, so you have to go, there's no other way. Suddenly it sees you and starts marching. Then there's that build up where you only have a few seconds to think up a battle plan, and as you think the boss is slowly getting closer and closer, and then suddenly you realise you're on a super narrow bridge and then you're dead. The mod also does a good job in giving you several options in some scenarios. Because it doesn't rely on fixed objectives, you can pretty much go in any direction, and when you reach a boss fight you can go about it in any way you want to. So you can take out the sentries before alerting the main boss, or you can simply just charge head on, kill the main boss and ignore any of his minions. The mod also does a good job in rewarding you as you go on, both in the pure satisfaction of killing a tough boss and through the addition of new weapons. Overall, the absolute best thing about Darkend is the atmospheric tension. Everywhere you go has an eerie feel to it, and you know at any moment you're going to turn a corner and see a shadowy figure in the distance, which instantly puts you on alert and ready to fight. So if you're interested in giving it a go, then you'll find everything you need down below. As always, be sure to endorse any mod you enjoy, and we'd like to thank WeMesh for sponsoring this episode. WeMesh is an app that lets you watch YouTube videos with your friends in perfect sync, without any delay between you, while you can talk via text or use voice chat. We really like the app and we think you will too, so check for links in the description for a link to the App Store. If you're in between playthroughs, check out g2a.com, and thanks for watching.